rate in the dollar. So currently the office recommendation is for a 2% increase with a rate in the dollar of 8.4895. Does anyone wish to propose an amendment to that? Councillor Hamilton, you were first.
I propose a 1.4% increase.
So do we know what the rate in the dollar would be in that?
I was going to ask the officer that.
So you're not happy with the 1.5% increase that's already been calculated?
Yeah, I just, yeah.
I second the motion.
8.6559.
And 12.9839.
12. Can you repeat that? Sorry,
12.9839.
That's more than 2%.
No, that's for the differential. So the base rate, 8.6559.
Which is more than 2%.
Sorry,
That's
that's
not
sorry,
correct.
that's not right.
Actually, you're right.
Yeah, I know.
Of course you are.
Okay, just hold on a moment.
I'll just check those figures, sorry, just 1%.
Just no need to apologise, you're doing well.
Okay, I believe the rate of dollar for improved land would become 8.4395.
That's better.
8.4395.
Yes, and for vacant land it would become 12.6593.
12.6593.
Okay.
Okay, so Councillor Hamilton has moved that the rates be changed to reflect a 1.4% increase. Councillor Wilson has seconded that.
We're not voting on the budget overall yet, are we?
No. Is there anybody against? Okay, so that you're against. Okay, so we'll put that to the vote. Councillors for, Councillor Wilson, Quinton, Barty, Hamilton and McLennan, and against is Councillor Gangel. Okay, so now if there's no other amendments, we'll go back to the substantive motion for the budget, which was moved by Councillor Wilson and seconded by Councillor Hamilton. Is there anybody against? Councillor Wilson, do you wish to debate?
I do, thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to start by thanking staff for the many hours of hard work that have gone into preparing this budget and for their effective engagement with Council to try and understand what it is that Council's priorities might be in framing the proposed budget for our consideration. So for all of that work and effort that's been put into it, I thank you. There are some highlights to this budget that I think bear focusing on, or at least in my personal opinion. The adoption of 100% renewable energy consumption for our town, I think is a great achievement, one that we should all be proud of. The provision of a larger 360 litre recycling bin for our community for a one-off fee of $150, I think is a great innovation. That we will be planting an additional 1,000 trees for the third consecutive year, I think is a great investment in the amenity in our town. It will go a long way in providing greenery and reducing the urban heat island effect for generations to come, and that we've been able to achieve that with a modest 1.4% rate increase for residents of our town, I think shows just how effective the financial management has been. As is always the case, there is not everything in this budget that I agree with, and there are some things that I'm prevented by way of previous resolutions from discussing publicly and openly in the public record, but needless to say, on totality, I'm happy to move and endorse this budget and recommend it to Council.
Thank you, Councillor Wilson. Did you wish to speak, Councillor Hamilton?
Yes, very short. I echo Councillor Wilson's comments and thank the staff 100% for your efforts. This has truly been a collaborative budget between councillors, administration, and for that I am really grateful. In collaborating, we have achieved some things that we may not have achieved if we had been pulling in very opposite directions. So for that I am really, really grateful. I'm grateful for my fellow councillor Quinton for her contributions to make some of the processes more equitable, and all my fellow councillors for their contributions, even those with whom we occasionally have differences of opinions. You add to the debate, and that is excellent. I do think this is a good budget. I think overall, as Councillor Wilson has said, not everything is to my liking, but by and large, the bulk of this budget is an excellent budget. It delivers many things that our community prioritised, and for that I am very grateful. Thank you.
Nice, Karen.
Thank you, Councillor Hamilton. Councillor Gander, did you wish to speak?
Thank you, Your Worship. Look, I don't speak against the budget lightly. Obviously, I've already said a number of things on differential rates. Just briefly with that, I think this penalises the people that most cannot afford it, that have legitimately subdivided their blocks potentially to sell the land at a
Councillor
future
Gander,
point in
you're
time.
speaking against a previous council resolution.
I'm speaking about
No,
the
it
different.
was item 8.1.
Okay, well, sorry, Your Worship, can I just seek clarification and start my debate again from you?
Yes.
So, just what can I say, what will you permit me to say? Can I talk about how much we're putting the differential rate up by? Is that permitted under your guidance?
You can say what the differential rate is.
So if I say what the differential rate is, then I can't then go on to say that how that would impact? I'm just seeking your guidance, what you will approve, because I know you like to shut down if you don't see eye to
Councillor
eye.
Gander, that is also inappropriate. I'm just reminding of your
Yeah.
obligations to not speak against a council
Well,
resolution.
we're in debate. The differential rating is
Councillor
part of the
Gangel?
debate. Well, I'm seeking your
No.
guidance, Your Worship, what you will allow in this
Councillor
town and what you will not allow in
Excuse
this
me,
town.
Councillor Gangel. Item 8.1.
Clearly, broad debate is not
Councillor
allowed.
Gangel, that's not appropriate. I'm reminding of your obligations to not speak against a previous council resolution at 8.1 this evening. Would you like to continue your debate?
Well, I certainly would like to continue my debate. Thank you very much. No doubt you'll shut me down again because you don't agree with
Councillor
me.
Gangel, I'm
Yes.
going to ask you to sit down in a minute if you don't stop.
Oh, no surprise there. Okay.
Councillor Gangel, that's enough. I'm not going to let you continue to speak. Sit down.
well,
Would anybody else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Wilson, would you like your right of reply?
Thank you, Your Worship. I will like my right of reply, and in doing so, acknowledge Councillor Gangel's sincere and consistent advocacy for a point of view with which he holds.
Not allowed
views. Needless to say, it's heard and understood, and respectfully disagree. As I said before, there are parts to this budget that I disagree with, passionately, vehemently, and to the very core of my being, and everything that I hold true to my values, Councillor Gangel. I understand the feelings that you will be having on that. However, on balance, this is a good budget that I recommend it to Council.
Thank you, councillors. Okay, we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour of the budget? Councillor Wilson, Quinton, Barty, Hamilton and McLennan, and against is Councillor Gangel, so that is carried. And that brings us to the end of the meeting.